and welcome to Apex Esports League. I'm JT. Tonight we're on iRacing for the opening round of the Pagnian Imports NASCAR Cup. It's a 5-week series and we've got the first track tonight for round 1 is USA International Speedway, and they are all ovals for the NASCAR. That's the Gen 6 NASCAR Cup series. So tonight's session we have 10 minutes of practice, then 10 minutes of qualifying, and then the race is 40 minutes. Weather conditions are partly cloudy, it is rolling starts, and then the restarts are double file back, and we've also capped the fuel at 47%, so it will require the drivers to head in for a mandatory pit stop. So heading over onto the track now. We should see some cars on screen in a moment. Drivers have got 6.5 minutes left of the practice to get out there. You know, a lot of the guys have been having a lot of fun painting up their cars for this series. And if you are joining us to the stream, don't be shy, jump in, say hello on the chat. Be happy to see there's some crashes going on already, so that sounded like a pretty big hit to the wall. Bring up some extra data on the screen. Oh, big slide. Looks like, probably, is that Bradley Morris has gone for the spin? Not sure who. We've actually had Alexander has just gone for the spin. So first time's coming through in the practice already. Mark Horton setting in a 21.3. The lobby beforehand, he was mentioning he was getting about the 21.6, I think was the times. I'm not sure if that's with getting the slipstream around. While you join us for the stream, there is a bunch of sound effects controls underneath the stream, so you can share on and applaud for your drivers, favourite drivers that are out on track. We'll make our way through the list. We've got about 13 cars currently loading into the session. Mark Horton from Clutch Kickers setting some pretty big pace. It's a little bit slippery still. Looks like he's driving the Mustang. He's blocking that inside line. Mackenzie just blinked in and out. And Neil Mackenzie also sporting the Apex Esports League on the side of the car as well. He's in the Toyota Camry. So we'll jump on board for a lap around. Neil's currently got the second quickest time. He's blinking in and out a little bit at the moment. Aaron Thompson currently coming with the fourth quickest, having set a 21.5. Stephen Banks also in the Mustang by the looks of things. Jump on for a lap around USA International Speedway. This is a quite tight oval. The turns are a little bit more trickier to get through. Drivers are going to have to really hold out and try and keep those cars in the correct lines as they're making those passes. It's going to be much shorter on the straights, so that slipstream is going to be a very limited opportunity to actually get out into a pass. It's when when they do tuck in and then slingshot out and try and get that line, they're going to be coming into the corner probably on a much tighter trajectory and then also at a lot more speed, so things could start to get a little bit interesting. Lachlan and Hewitt coming through and setting quickest time, a 21.1. There's 2 minutes left of practice. We've got a couple of debuts tonight. So we have Jake Canane. I'm not sure, I think that's how we pronounce his name, but it is actually linking in and out a fair bit at the moment. Getting a few lag issues with him. I think Craig Taylor also debuting with us tonight. Nathan Peters debut with us towards the back end of the Formula V Championship, which we saw Sebastian Vandel take the win. He doesn't actually have any of these NASCARs. A little bit slippery as he avoids that, but he managed to get the car under control, but not a full slide now. Spins around and hits that wall. Seems to be a fair few Camrys as being the weapon of choice out there. I don't think I've come across the Camaro just yet. Sarah Maguire also in the Camry. Nathan Peters also with track days in the Camry. Ambient temperatures currently 20 degrees, track temperatures 22 degrees. It's a little bit cool. It has started off in the morning. Have Alexander Dyson Smith in the Camaro. Ooh, there's been another slide. We have a lot of the downshift guys racing tonight. I think there's about 6 of them you were mentioning in the lobby beforehand. And then we have practice session complete. Drivers will now have 10 minutes to get a qualifying lap in, and it is crucial to their championship standings as they will be receiving points for qualifying position. Teammates from the Century Motorsports KFC team, a little bit slippery. Stephen comes out of pit lane. Several cars all scrambling out. You can actually see some pretty good views of this track. There's a good thing about oval racing, and to see some spectacular shots of all these cars. Currently 17 cars out onto the track. Close they get to this wall. It's probably actually going to put the camera out into the wall, most likely. So you can see how close they actually are getting the car. This camera sits that slight little bit out. To the left front. And getting nice and close down to that curtain. It does start to get very slippery once they start to cross that yellow line. Fair bit of traffic coming out as we head around for another lap. Seeing about 190 kilometers an hour that they're getting up to. Stephen Banks setting a 21 point. Sorry, I just lost him in my list. I say 21.291. Neil McKenzie currently quick as no. Mark Horton's just snuck through. Neil's still having a few technical issues. He's having some netcode going on. Blinking in and out that much in such short tracks. Oh, there's a bit of chaos going on in the entrance to pit lane. They could potentially see themselves with disqualification if they're not careful. Also pulling that car up, so they must have both taken damage. Mark's taken pole position so far, setting it near 21 flat. So breaking into that 20 mark, 20.9. We have Aaron Marinovich. He's debuting with us tonight, so welcome aboard. Good luck to you out on track. Jake with the downshift guys. Much appreciated for all the downshift guys putting the Apex logo on the side of their cars. Ooh, make some contact. That was with Robbie Bradbury. Spotting a good image of the Colonel on that front bonnet. Ooh, a little bit of a spin in monster car. Nathan bringing that car in, clearly having some issues with the engine. Could be a fair bit of carnage coming into the race. 40 minutes at 22nd laps. It's going to be very tight. 17 cars out on the track. Craig Taylor also with downshift guys debuting. Welcome aboard. Bruce Robinson really hugging down on that inside line. Blake O'Cart also in the Camry. Seems to be the very popular choice. Thought it would have been the Camaros and the Mustangs that would have been the most common car out there. Graham Thompson taking that whole time. Ooh, that was a bit of contact from netcode. That car did actually disappear momentarily. Hopefully he can get back in there quickly. Good thing is it doesn't take much for the outlap. They're just going to have to try and find a very nice position. Lachlan Hewitt's stolen in a very quick lap, 20.8, then ended that 20.8 into a spin. There's not much separating all the times out on the field. It's less than 2 seconds separating. Bradley Morris also with the Century Motorsports KFC team, same as Stephen Banks and Robbie Bradbury. That's Adam Marinovich running in the Monster Energy. I think that is a Mustang from the looks of it. So that is a Mustang. Slide for Graham Ellis. That's taken a pretty big hit to that inside wall. still putting in some pretty tight times. Hearing a lot of crashing going, so you got their car up to about 220 before heading into the turn-in. Looks like a bit of contact going on between a couple of cars as they are fighting to get out of pit lane. Track days and downshift having a small battle. Already exchanging paint in the qualifying sessions. It's going to be pretty exciting action seeing the 17 cars out there racing. And the drivers do have custom setups allowed for the cars. A lot of guys stating that they're not too familiar with how to work the setups for these cars. It's a very different category to what most would usually drive. A little bit slippery for Lachlan. Almost spinning off into that pit entry. Mark Horton's just stolen that pole position back. His fastest lap at 20.8. Oh, the spin just narrowly avoids. Getting that car in fourth gear. Slides up to about 210. Track temperatures slightly increase. By a degree. There's a slide. He's going to have to decide whether to go low or high. These leaves just make some raw contact. He's bringing that car into the pits, or is he just making his way out? Our best camera angles that we're going to be having. Sealed action. Was the spin just in behind. Downshift guy spun out in front of another car. Neil still having some netcode going on. Debut Adam doing well, setting a 21.079, so it's qualified him in 5th position. So it's now last laps. There's a few drivers still out on track. Mark's parked up on the side of the road there. Neil still blinking in and out. And a couple of drivers parked into the pits. And then we have results for the qualifying, and I just missed it before iRacing actually muddles up all our data. I believe Mark Horton still had pole position. It is a rolling start. The driver's going to be very cautious. Drivers now needing to hit that grid button so they load in, otherwise if they miss the start they will be starting from the pits. You can still see Neil blinking in and out. So the pace car will get us underway. Once all the drivers are loaded in, we're still waiting on 2 drivers. We've got Scott Rankin joining in the session as well. He joined in for one of our series quite early on. Haven't seen him for several series. Looks like we're just waiting on Scott Rankin to hit ready. It was a late entry. He very well may be starting from the pits. Yeah, so it looks like he'll be starting from the pits as he's still loading in. Safety car getting ready to take the cars out for their parade lap. There's probably going to be a fair few issues with how Neil's blinking in and out so much. It's going to be hard to try and gauge just where he is on track. We did see that spill happen in the practice session. So I believe it was Mark or Aaron that actually came around and took that track position where they saw an opening. However, it was actually Neil blinking out. Let me know if the audio is a little bit loud as well. I've noticed the NASCARs are a lot more higher in volume than our rest of our series have been. We'll be having Mark Horton starting the race. So drivers can pass to their right of their line. They can't pass to the left of their line. So the inside line drivers could easily dart up and pass their current line along through the middle. There's not going to be many openings for that outside edge. Race car is away. Mark now has control of the race.
Green, green, green.
It's green and he gets away pretty quickly, pulls away nice and fast, but Lachlan Hewitt is catching up pretty tight. Neil McKenzie's sticking in tight behind Lachlan. He has blinked a few times, just tucking back in front of Aaron Thompson. Should bring up some positions on the board as well so we can see what's just going on. It's very tight between Aaron, Adam and Bradley. Takes that inside line, goes to get a pass. I don't think there's enough pace to pull back in. Surprisingly, a pretty good start to the race. I was expecting a few fender benders. Oh, there's a spin back. He's been turned around. I think Alexander's just gone for the spin, but he's actually recovered. And that was Graham Ellis. That was a remarkable save. That could have gone very badly. Mark still has the lead of the race. Still setting some pretty quick times, 21.051. Downshift guys, Lachlan and Neil battling it out. Neil seems to have those net issues sorted out at the moment. There's a little bit of smoke going across the track. Been lingering on. Looks like a little bit of contact. Blake Urquhart just had that tail end rubbed by Craig Taylor. There's a battle going on for position 2. Mark's going to be in some trouble here. Oh, there's a touch. Aaron Thompson mildly just avoids that contact between him and Neil. These guys are only racing millimetres apart from each other. So on the nose of Aaron's car. Other colours that we may have is how close these guys are getting. Ooh, and we did just see a very tight pass, almost looks like some contact with that angle. Don't appear to have any bonnet cams unfortunately on these guys. someone just peeling into the pits now. Drivers do have unlimited fast repairs, so they can tend to any damage. Scott Rankin is back out on track. He's currently 4 laps down, so he did start from the back as he missed that grid start. Mark Horton still leading the race. He's 1.5 seconds ahead. He's currently on lap 9. He's led for the entirety of the race so far. Debut Adam making his way up the rungs. Now moved up into position 3. Bradley Morris quickly honing down on him. He's also got his teammate Stephen Banks not too far behind. Ooh, Aaron Thompson, Robbie Bradbury both make some contact to that wall. That's quite a good scrape. Good changes going on. Alexander's in the pits. Sure, who's just gone for that spin? All the car's gone on the outside edge. Alexander having just tired out. Having just pit, so he's taken some damage. Let's see it. Those tyres may be getting a little bit scrubbed. Track temperature is slightly increased. We're now 24 degrees on the track. Neil Bound becomes our race leader. Having a great start, so it's now 5 minutes into the race. Bradley Morris, Stephen Banks and Aaron Thompson still sitting very tight between the three. They're keeping some very consistent pace. They're all in the very low 22s. Seeing a 22.019, 001 and a 007. Ooh, looks like a position taken by Aaron Thompson getting ahead of Stephen Banks. Goes for a good slingshot. We have Stephen Banks looking to get maneuver back on that inside line, but he did make some outside wall contact. And a little bit too quick coming into that. Oh, that was close. Nice and tight up along that inside. Marcellus and Blake Urquhart battling it out for position 7. A little bit slippery for both of them. Blake just chucks back in. That tail sliding out just a little bit. It's really pushing some speed coming down into that corner. Another wall scrape down the back. Thanks, Craig Taylor going rather wide. Guys are getting dizzy yet. It's a very short track. Oh, it's a tiny tap. It's nearly pushed him back off into the grass. He has lost that position. I think there is some traffic going on as well. It's hard to see who's who out here. Got some track days guys moving down to that inside line to let these guys through. Mackenzie's currently leading. He's now led for 9 laps. On lap 19. Adam holding well in position 2. He's only 2.5 seconds away from the race leader. He's got 1.3 seconds away between him and Bradley Morris. His teammate is quickly closing down on him. Stephen Banks still hanging tight. Battle between Brad, Stephen and Aaron all starting to space out a little bit with Aaron dropping back. Bradbury getting some traffic sitting up behind. That is Mark Horton, who is just in behind him. Mark having been in and done a pit. Wasn't quite a lengthy time. Has a fair bit of traffic up ahead to get through. It's been doing some very consistent times out there. Those lap times have started to drop off a little bit. He did have a good couple of runs where he was tucking in behind some traffic. Bruce Robinson's just spun off track. Not sure how much damage he's taken to that car. Have a look. Some slipstreams of some lapped cars, better words for it. Can he keep this lead up? He's starting to be caught up just a little bit with the lap traffic. There are a lot of downshift cars out there. Neil getting caught up in that traffic, having to navigate his way through several cars. It's allowed Adam to close that gap down to 1.7 seconds. The field is staying relatively well together. It's only 9 laps down after having been out for 27 laps. And it's only around 21 seconds for a lap. Slowest time out there is only a 22.149. So all our drivers are putting in some very quick times. Stephen Banks really trying to chase down teammate Bradley Morris. You can see him slowly bring in that gap. He goes out for an outside move, it's not enough. Getting around some lapped cars. Aaron Thompson also tucking in nicely. Oh, he's just lost that pace that's allowed Aaron Thompson to cover a lot more ground. Sorry, no, Aaron Thompson, he's actually much further back, so that's Mark Horton. He's looking to recover some positions. He is 3 laps down. It just looks like there's been some contact made. Oh, it is a big hit. It's into the side of car 888, that's Bruce Robinson. Still out in front. Adams now dropped back down into 3rd position. Bradley Morris has moved up into P2. That's Blake Urquhart just up ahead. Bradley has started to pull away a little bit from Adam, however, Stephen Banks is still sitting in very tight. Mark Horton is still trying to recover those positions. He's seeming to have a lot more pace than our race leaders, and he's trying to recover those lost laps. Not sure what that early pit was, whether he did actually take damage. I couldn't see anything in the events board. So he's made contact and gone off. Thompson. About half a second. That's what happened before that. So for those that can't see the chat, Alexander spin down the track into Mark. That's what happened. Still battling it out. Still holding at that pace. Very similar lap times compared to those two in front of him. Goes for an inside one, then to an outside. Drop down into 4th position. Marcellus. Blake Urquhart just up ahead of him is actually another lap down. Blake currently 2 laps down from the race lead. Tony Vaselis only 1 lap down. And currently in 7th position. One lap down. Bradbury's a few seconds away from Aaron Thompson. Battling out side by side with Adam Marinovich. Adam loses that position. We have one of the downshift guys who's also a lap down, getting past Adam. Steven just having a few blinks. Michael happened to get around him. He's trying to recover that lost lap. He's 3 laps down. There's a fair bit of traffic going on. Rankin started from pit lane. It was a late entry. He was actually a couple of laps down by the time they got around. Currently sitting in the 11th position. I think it's Craig Taylor. So they are doing with us tonight. Also with downshift. Seeing a lot of track days and downshift cars out there. Currently just starting lap 45. He's now led for 35 laps. He's having a cracker of a race out there. The car looks immaculately clean. He's managed to keep it free from any scrubs. Then we have Mark Horton still trying to recover those laps. They're starting to close that gap on our race leader as well. Close that gap in. That's going to put him an extra spot down. So drivers will need to start considering looking at needing to pit. It's likely fuel loads are going to start lightening down just a little bit as we near the halfway mark of the race. Mark's closing that gap in on him very quickly. That's what's after. Big speed, gets out on the inside of the race leader. Unlaps himself, one more lap. If he can keep this pace up, he could easily reclaim race lead. Having been 2 laps down and already been in pits, he did take advantage of that, throw some fuel in at the same time. He did have quite a lengthy pit stop, that's 45.2 seconds. With the drivers having fast repairs, it did look like he opted to throw some fuel in. Top that car back up. Bradley Morris and Stephen Banks still holding very tight to each other. View from the blimp at the moment. Bradley currently coming second. Make a move on it. He's only 0.4 seconds away. He's going to go for pass on the outside. He's going to have to try and tuck back in and get that slipstream. Otherwise he's going to lose that speed. Oh, we've just had a bit of a freeze go on. Hopefully we can get that back up and going. Looks like the iRacing server has frozen on me. I'll just chuck it in tech issues and see what's going on so I can try and get it back up and running for us. We are back, having had the session actually completely drop out, so we rejoin back in. Not sure how much action has gone on beforehand. Mackenzie still currently in the lead. We'll see a fair few cars, paints refresh, the trading paints starts to reload back up, got a few cars coming back out of pit lane. Bradley Morris still currently in second position. Adam having moved up to position 3. Blake Urquhart having moved up into P4. Bradley Morris was battling in. So I think Blake is still a lap down. A little bit of a lock up. Not sure who that was. I think that may have been actually Scott Rankin having a locked up the car. Trailing by 10 seconds in position 3. See Mark Horton trying to unlap himself, so he's actually back down into 3 laps. He did get down to only 2 laps behind. Big event. Also is reloading up iRacing. So Scott Rankin just coming out of the pits currently. Back off the track. 14 minutes remaining. Led for most of the race. It's now coming on to lap 69. Fantastic race. Managed to keep a good lead over Bradley Morris. It did start to close in, did start to drop back now to 3.5 seconds. And then P3 with Adam currently 11.8 seconds away from our race leader. Finding the car a little bit slippery. Currently position 4. One lap down. Adam is currently in position 3. Looks like he's going to get back out in front of Blake again. Sideline. Looks like Mark's just taken a hit. He's bringing that car into the pits now to get that 10-2. He's lost that front bar. See the pit stalls come out. Would have got to see the full graphics of them changing tyres on this. Usually see the pit crew actually run out with the NASCARs. trying to cover that ground back up. So he's tucked back in behind position 2. That's Bradley Morris just up ahead of him. I do believe the fastest lap of the race is actually Lachlan Hewitt at 20.9. He's been in for quite a lengthy pit at the moment. Seems to be getting a fair bit of fuel. Himself. Distance out and around from Bradley Morris. Seems to have lost a bit of speed for Stephen. Car maybe getting a little bit light. Through the list. Past Blake Urquhart, they're currently in position 17. Here's Stuart in the pits. It's quite a lengthy pit stop. I'm sure what's going on for him. Gets out and around from Graham Ellis. Currently in position 15. Beck Peters in 14. So Rankin in 13th position. Craig Taylor just up ahead of him, 12th position. Robinson in P11. Mike Orton now getting around Blake Urquhart. Mike's been really on fire with this car. Tony Purcell's currently in 9th position. Ryan in 8th. It's Jake Canane just tucking in behind him, and he seems to be putting down some really big pace, also trying to reclaim some laps. He's 28 laps down. Next up we have Stephen Banks in position 7. A little while to catch up to Aaron Thompson. 6. We're a lap ahead with Robbie Bradbury. That could close in, and Robbie's starting to get caught up into some traffic. McKenzie also up, our race leader up in amongst them. Oh, as they spin, narrowly avoids. That's car 110. Who was that? That was Jake. Jake was doing some amazing speed trying to unlap himself. Not sure if he's taken any damage. Brings that car back out on track. That could have been disastrous. They're really pushing these cars. Currently in 3rd position. Just ahead of him is Stephen Banks. He's currently in 7th position. Bradley Morris having got around some lapped cars. With Neil getting caught up in a bit of slow traffic. Scott Rankin showing some big speed up alongside of Bradley. Goes for that inside line. To recover some lost laps. He did start the race 3 laps down. up just a bit. Lap was a 22.7. Bradley Morris just setting a 22.2. About half a second slower at the moment. Very well almost have enough fuel to actually blast out there. It sounds like a spin. Not sure who's just gone off. That lead. Scott Rankin quickly making his way up through the pack. Last lap at 22.1. Him and Mark Horton, as well as Graham Ellis, being the three quickest cars out there currently. There's 5 minutes remaining of the race. Only needs to hold off Bradley Morris 5 more minutes. They're side by side. Bradley Morris, sorry, that was Robbie Bradbury. In position 4, he's currently 3 laps down, gets around our race leader. Not sure who just gone into that spin. Scott Rankin narrowly gets out of that. It's very close. Race leader caught up in some traffic. Bradley Morris now sitting very tight. There's only 4 minutes remaining. He's going to have to start considering making a move and then position himself nicely up ahead, away from that lap traffic. Start putting some cars in between him and the race leader. Or he could very well sit tight on that tail for the remaining few minutes of the race. Then get them on the last corner. Bradley is looking at some great speed currently. Up with a little bit of traffic. Is he going to make a pass here? So position 2, Bradley Morris. Only 0.6 away from our race leader. Over 2.5 minutes remaining. Doesn't get caught up too much. Manages to get around. It's going to allow Bradley to focus in and try and get him on these last couple of minutes. Sounds just like there was quite a big hit. I think it may have been Mark just making some wall contact and a bit of a blink out. Is still holding that gap about 0.6. Having recovered 3 positions from the start. Bradley Morris climbing up 4 positions. 20 remaining. Let's see, about 4 laps to go. Had a solid race, he's led for the majority of the race. We'll see the white flag very soon. He's furthered that gap out over from P2. They're well and truly away from position 3. Adam's 15.3 seconds away from the race lead. This will be the white flag coming up at the end of this lap. Bradley close that gap in. It's a whole second away over the course of the last lap now. There's going to be too much space for him to try and recover that ground. He had a very close dig at it. There's a checkered flag. Neil takes the win, followed by Bradley Morris in position 2. And Adam Marinovich debuting with us tonight, taking a podium in position 3. Then we have Robbie Bradbury in with position 4. Aaron Thompson in 5th position. Blake Urquhart. Oh, his car's having some fun spinning and crashing it at the end of the race. He'll be doing a victory burnouts for us. So that's 107 laps around USA International. Definitely hear a burnout going on. Not sure who's doing the burnout. There we go. The track days guys. Sarah Maguire doing some nice circle works, followed by the rest of the track days guys doing some tandem burnouts. Having a lot of fun. So there we have the conclusion of round 1. Rather loud. Down so we can actually bring up the results. So there we have the conclusion of round 1 for the Pagnian Imports NASCAR Cup, having Neil McKenzie taking the win, followed by Bradley Morris in position 2 and Adam Marinovich in position 3. On the rest of the grid we have Robbie Bradbury, Aaron Thompson, Blake Urquhart, Stephen Banks, Mark Horton, Tony Vaselis, Aaron Maguire, Scott Rankin, Craig Taylor, Nathan Peters, Graham Ellis, Bruce Robinson, Jake Canane, Lachlan Hewitt and Alexander having to retire out early on in the race. So we'll be bringing over our guys for a chat. So we'll be seeing Neil, Bradley and Adam hopefully. Looks like we've got everyone here.
How you doing, mate?
Hey, buddy.
Good, how are you? Congrats on the race, guys.
Or second or third.
Yeah, solid win, Neil.
Well done, Neil.
First win of the Apex League. I'm bloody chuffed.
And led for majority of it as well, and it was looking a little bit close at that back end with Brad really starting to hunt you down.
Yeah, I was actually worried at the end there. He was gaining and my tyres started running like real bald. And then I just started cutting right in on the inside and slowing right down instead of sliding. Then once I started slowing right down and just creeping around, those guys were kind of sliding out and I was just cutting in on them. And it was sweet.
Yeah, it was good, yeah. Well-deserved win. And we got, we had to get Brad in here, did we? No, Brad hasn't jumped in. So we've got Adam though, so debuting with us tonight, mate, and you're taking a podium, so well done.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, no, it was good. Good race.
Yeah, and you're battling up there with them quite early on, only just to drop back I'm not sure. I think there may have been an incident where I actually did have the race server crash on me, so I actually had to reload back in. And I think we had a couple of big spills, Will Styles loading back in. So hopefully...
Yeah, I had to drive through it all. It was quite scary. But yeah, no, it's a good win by Neil.
Yep, congratulations. It'll be pretty similar with South Boston Speedway next week, so it's very similar to this track. So it's going to be some very tight spots to try and get around.
Yeah, sweet. Before you go, JT, I'd like to say a quick thanks to you, mate, for putting on these races. They're wicked fun, and thanks to our sponsor, Downshift, for sponsoring us through all of the letting us use all their logos and all the rest of it. And Black Dog Institute for mental health awareness. Legends.
Yes, definitely. Yes, much appreciated, and yes, thank you for all the support that we get for all our drivers and our league as well. So Pagnian and Next Level Racing getting on board with us. So it's good to be supporting Black Dog as well, especially with us just coming out of the Beyond Blue Formula League Championship. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oh, you doing the Black Dog this season, are you?
no,
I'm pretty sure they're all affiliated in some way.
Yeah.
No, I love your work, JT, bro.
No worries.
Thank you.
Thank you. And look forward to seeing us out on track again next week.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Will do, mate. Look forward to it.
It's good to not see the back of Blake for once.
Yeah, it's good to get a win on Blake. He's a tough competitor, that's for sure.
He's the only one now I was really wanting to beat, but good on him. I can't wait till next week.
Yep. Looking forward to it. Catch you
Cheers,
later.
JT, mate.
Thank
Legend.
you. See you guys.
Then we had Neil and Adam, so Brad not getting in onto the podium interview, so very close, only 1 second away from Neil at the end of 107 laps. That is pretty tight. And of course, as I was just mentioning, we head to South Boston next week, so it's 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back again on that Monday night for round 2, South Boston Speedway, and it's going to be same race format, so there's going to be plenty of action to see. So be sure to hit that follow button if you haven't done so yet, so you can be notified when we go live. And of course, we do have Project Cars 2 racing on Thursday night, same time, 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and we are starting our Ferrari Series 488 Challenge, so there's going to be plenty of racing action to see from there. So thanks for tuning in with us, and we hope to see you trackside.